Hi and welcome to the Philosopher's Games and a new episode of Once Upon a Time in Games. Short video today and only two topics: Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay footage and some recommendations for the Steam summer sale. Let's start with Beyond Good and Evil 2. Ubisoft showed actual gameplay footage. Obviously the game is still in a very early stage, but it looks very interesting. Michel Ancel showed us the ship from the CGI trailer in-game, and it's really huge, about 400 meters. He explains how this can be used as a player's home and that you can store ships inside it. He talks a lot about how the scale of the world and objects in it is really important for the game. Also, the elephant statue is gigantic. This demonstration for sure gave us an impression of scale. Adding to this, he zoomed out and showed how the city in the background and the continent were even bigger, and he zoomed out further and we could see that the horizon of the planet with the moon, or the satellite to be precise, and even the planet in the background were not just a skybox. It seems you can actually go there, and it's not just zooming. He flies with his spaceship into space without loading times and explains that they understand that they have to fill all those planets and places with life, so there is seamless space travel and planets to explore, and maybe they don't make the same mistake as No Man's Sky. At least they claim to understand the problem that some people had with this game. The scale of Beyond Good and Evil 2 seems to be massive. Another interesting part of this demonstration was when he talked about story. He said they want to tell stories with all these elements and how planets and story are connected. For example, how slaves are taken to a specific side of the planet where meteoroids raining from the sky because those bring rare resources there, and companies force those slaves to gather them, which is very dangerous. I assume the story is connected to this, and maybe you can rebel against this space slavery later in the game. In this context, he also mentioned how you can take pictures like in the first game, use these as evidence and are able to discuss those pictures with other characters in the game. He said you can start a discussion in the city, so maybe you can make some dirty practices by big companies public and start a new story arc with this, or even change the world. That would be a very interesting and ambitious concept. But of course we did not see that in the footage, but it seems to be the direction they are going for. What we see in the footage is the technology and engine, which he said they wanted to finish first before showing it to the world. So we can clearly see the scale and the ship's movement options, including how it seamlessly leaves the atmosphere of the planet and re-enters it without loading times, like in Kerbal Space Program, No Man's Sky or Star Citizen. It looked impressive for a very early build. What is also interesting is the notion of an online component in the description of the video. It reads, "Play the adventure by yourself or with friends in a vast and seamless online playground." This sounds like co-op, which should be possible with that many characters in the game. Michel Ancel also mentioned that you can create your own character, if I understood this correctly. I'm interested to hear more about it. This game sounds really ambitious and huge. The next big surprise is the Steam summer sale. It has started today or yesterday, depending on when you see this video. I heard that it would be this week, but was a bit surprised that it was just suddenly there. Maybe I just didn't pay enough attention to it. So, a few recommendations for the summer sale. Middle-earth's Shadow of Mordor. You have probably heard about it if you are following my channel. It's on sale for $4 or euros or £3.19, which is a steal. I can really recommend this game. If you are not sure about the lore in it compared to Lord of the Rings, the game is not canon. Maybe check my lore videos to learn more about the differences. We also have Banner Saga 2 for $10 or euros or £7.49. Great game, nice art style and story by some former BioWare developers. Part 1 is $5, it's also worth it. And another great game by the makers of Bastion, Transistor, only $3, €2.84 or £2.24. I would recommend this for sure. You get a good amount of ice cream for this price, but this is a very praised high quality sci-fi indie game that is quite unique in many aspects. For this price it's a steal. Then we have Doom, the one from 2016. And it is only $15 or euros or £10. If you like single player FPS and the old Doom games, this is a really good deal for this price. The game has also multiplayer, but the price is definitely on its single player. Wasteland 2 is also available for $10 or euros or £7.50. Good price for a content-rich game. Wasteland 1 is basically the predecessor of the Fallout series. Maybe check it out if you are into the post-apocalyptic open-world RPGs. This one is indie and more classical, of course. This is a strange one. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin and the old DirectX 9 version of Dark Souls 2 are on sale too, but don't buy them on Steam. Instead, check the humble monthly bundle. There you get Scholar of the First Sin plus additional games for only $12. Pretty much the same price as on Steam. Since I have not much time to get this video out, here are a few more recommendations really fast. The Tabletop Simulator 4-pack is quite cheap right now, but even $10 can be worth it. With this you can play pretty much any board game. If you and your friends like playing those, check it out. Then we have Pillars of Eternity, great CRPG. Also check the other CRPGs, Tyranny, Torment, Tides of Numenera, Divinity Original Sin and so on. Then we have Styx, Master of Shadow. It's a stealth game and probably not perfect, but for this price, why not? Mount & Blade Warband. I have seen it cheaper, but it's still worth it. It would be worth it for twice as much, but be careful, this game is time consuming. Civilization 5, legendary 4X strategy game, very cheap right now. Make sure you buy the complete edition with all the add-ons in it, else it's not worth it. Crypt of the Necrodancer, a rhythm roguelike, very unique concept, and it has a nice art style and soundtrack. If you're into roguelikes, maybe check it out. Super hot, it's hard to explain but good. Check the trailer, I would recommend it. Wolfenstein The New Order, great single player FPS. Papers, Please, one of the best indie games I have ever played, and you really only check passports. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, spectacle fighter in the Metal Gear universe by Platinum Games. It's amazing. Salt and Sanctuary, so to say a 2D Dark Souls, it also has co-op. Portal 1 and 2, you probably have them already, but they are cheap right now and also bundled. Broforce, amazing run and gun platformer with all your heroes from the 80s and 90s. This War of Mine, amazing game with survival aspects, even though quite dark. It's really good though. Metro Last Light, very nice single player FPS. Dex, a very nice cyberpunk RPG, reminds me of Deus Ex. Speaking of, Deus Ex Human Revolution is also on sale, as the original Deus Ex, but I don't know how good it runs, but Deus Ex 1 is my favorite game of all time. Sunless Sea, Lovecraftian survival exploration game, one of the best written games I have ever seen, but gameplay is quite grindy. Sins of a Solar Empire: Rebellion, amazing real-time sci-fi 4X game with amazing mods. Risen, it's like Gothic, even the same developer. It's not perfect, has some bugs and is a bit clunky, but I like it and for the price, why not? Prison Architect, amazing management game that still gets updates to this day. And last, Renowned Explorers International Society, a colorful and very different turn-based roguelike. And this wraps up my video. I could continue with this list for quite some time, but I end it here. If you want to know about some hidden gems that might be released in the future and got a bit overlooked because of E3, check my last video. If you wonder what's coming up at my channel, I plan one Lord of the Rings lore video, but it will take some time. If I have time, I will probably make a small update video about some of the new Shadow of War things we have seen at E3, and again look from a book's lore perspective at it. I also have ideas for new A Closer Look At videos, so should nothing going on in the games industry during summer, I will make at least one. In addition, I still have some betas I could cover or finally make the next Good Games for Free episode. There are definitely possibilities, but some take a lot of time. Then in August starts the Gamescom. I will cover that too and hope for some more Shadow of War content. With this, you know what's coming up on my channel in the future. Oh, and feel free to post some hidden gems you found during the Steam sale in the comments. I hope you found this video at least somewhat helpful. If you liked it, consider the YouTube and Twitter things. Thank you for watching and goodbye.